Ooh.
Right.
Hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Onlyfigs. I am your host, Mr. Modern Toy Fair, and I am joined by the founder of the Neck Illuminati, the delayer of shipments, the procrastinator of Preorders, the buyer of NFTs, the YouTube wife, Mrs. Modern Toy Fair, Jarmar _games. But that's not all. We are also joined by the man Modern Toy Fair has full custody over, the man Optimus Prime Pop that he refuses to stop, the Twilight Knight, the master of mech, the three-pump chump of taking the show off the rails, Nate. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. I'm in a good mood, good spirits. Yeah.
Is Nate pretending to be frozen?
No, pouring water.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's
Jake, if you want to
important
find
to
out the answer
hydrate.
to that question, you'll have to tune in this Friday's episode of.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you're gonna
Jake.
have to wait till this Friday. I can tell you that.
I don't understand why it's as much of an argument as it is. It's so stupid.
Well, Nate, I know you don't spend much time with me and Michael outside of.
Oh my
doing
god,
this
it's literally a
show.
complaint of everyone that plays games with us is that we do nothing but argue.
But Michael is a little bit.
First off, no. He
How
always
would you-
my
how
shit's
would you
reactionary. He always starts shit with
No.
me.
I think the word that I'm looking for is stubborn, right? You know, just not willing
Stubborn.
to accept anyone's opinion outside of his own. So
First off,
generally,
I am very open to opinions, whether they're right or wrong. I don't care. The problem is you're trying to say that we argue because of that. We don't argue because of difference of opinions. We argue because normally you start shit with me over something that we've proven via like screenshots and video caps is not because the two of us don't see something. It's because the actual game does not show it to us. And tonight we are arguing.
Are you hearing this? This is him not.
This is proof.
Being
I will
stubborn.
fucking call Wes up right now on speakerphone and have him discuss how the same thing happened to you two, and you both showed videos, and guess what the result was? You couldn't see each other on each other's screens, so there was no evidence to show that
I don't
someone
even know what he
stole
said.
loot from each other.
I wasn't even talking about stealing loot. See,
No,
how
I'm
guilty
discussing the fact that people say we argue all the time is what I was discussing, and that you try to claim that it's all me and you're a perfect person.
I never said that. I
Really?
just
Because you said, oh, well, Michael's problem is he's stubborn, and...
No, I said, how would I describe Michael? He's stubborn. I'm not saying that I'm not. I'm just saying.
But the way you don't follow up with what I am also stubborn. You just fucking try to put all the blame on me.
And this is why we argue. We need to go to marriage counseling.
Apparently. I need a YouTube divorce.
Oh
Fucking
god,
hell.
that was a good time. I don't think you signed a prenup, so yeah.
Jamar is positively stubborn. Mike is negatively stubborn.
That's a very, very good way of saying
The
it.
evidence of that is this week's episode. 100%. It's just an
And-
hour of the two of us arguing over something fucking stupid while Nate sits there in silence for 90% of the episode.
I believe at one point he took out his hearing aids. He's like, nope. You
One
said
point
you were geriatric.
One
I didn't
point
say
got
that.
up. Yeah, he got up and
That's
left.
true.
And I was just like in shock. I'm like, where's the recording? Where are you going?
I couldn't take it anymore.
Then chime in and stop us.
No.
You have no
It
problem
was
getting
entertaining.
no problem during the
and I
live
was
stream
right.
to fucking yell at us like we're children and because we are staring at you directly in the eye while you show your toys at.
Oh.
So yeah, why are we here again? Oh, that's right. It's we're showing off the things we bought in the past week since the last episode that we have in hand, that we physically have in hand.
Yep.
For now.
Literally figured.
For now.
Yeah. For as long as we're on this show.
Well,
Oh,
I
me
mean,
and you,
that's
I assume
gonna
you
be
mean.
next Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine how great the show would be when I show you my phone of all of it.
I mean, at that point, I'm just be like, so Nate, are we like, can we legally vote him out, or is that going to be like something where we're going to get into some meat?
As long as I get a severance package, baby, I'm good.
I'm more concerned about us getting canceled for firing the only black guy in the company. At that point.
Oh, I'm gonna sue you as well.
NECA Auto T. That guy.
Oh my god,
That's the dude I was talking about.
that's a dude
That's
from
the
college.
dude I was talking
Michael
about.
is wrong. Michael is
But-
wrong.
That's the dude.
I feel like he
You're
photoshopped.
right. I'm
If
just
it was-
saying, I'm right.
Does the
Listen,
I'm
if it was anyone else other than Nate showing me that photo, I would be like, oh, he photoshopped that on his phone. But
yeah,
he did
I don't know
not.
how to do that.
He did not. So that is
so my question is it say
physical
that
evidence.
is that just a random picture, or does it actually say this is so and so he created auto T?
Yeah, I think so because it's a video that's being posted about how it works, which we probably
So
should
the
have
question
watched.
is,
But-
who does he work for? Does he work for NECA or does he work for Auto T?
doesn't matter.
It does though,
doesn't
because that's a difference. Because if he works for Auto T is clearly
He's
a startup
so
company. He is not presenting it
Okay.
as a member of Walmart or
I'm
NECA.
not gonna play a YouTube video on Twitch.
That's fine.
That's illegal.
I just wanted.
It's
I
illegal.
don't think it's illegal.
My point is that someone presented innovation, and they were like, "Let's try it." That's all I'm saying.
They presented
And
potential dollar
let's
source.
go. Welcome to the show, everybody. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna play a numbers game. It's gonna be lots of fun. I'm gonna pick a number between 1 and 10, and Jarmar and Michael are gonna write down what they think and get the closest to the number. We don't play by Price is Right rules, so it just has to be as close as possible to the number. Doesn't matter if you go over or under. So players, get ready.
Should I just have Nate host the show more often?
Yeah, he has a good vibe. What's today? The 5th?
Yeah.
Today is
October
the
5th.
This marker is dead. I went through a bucket full of I have 200 Sharpies. And of course I picked the one that is dead. But you know what? This is fine.
You know what, Nate? I feel better. Jake's on our side in the comments. He's going off.
Jake doesn't even know the situation.
No, he
What are
hit
you
the
talking
statement.
about?
All right, players, go ahead and put those pencils down. We're going to go over and we're going to show the numbers that we are talking about. All right, players, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are we ready to play? Guess that number.
Oh, you're gonna be so
All
bad.
right.
Be so bad.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's
Let's do
on
it.
3. 1, 2, and 3.
My number
Yes!
is AFT, bitch. Let's go.
Wow.
Anarchy.
Can I disconnect him?
All right. That means Michael's our winner. And this round goes to him. So, Michael, why don't you start us off? Let
I
us
don't
know.
think he won today.
What did you buy this week?
Nothing that's come in yet.
Right on. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've got my last Ronin should be here Friday, and then my loot crate and a few other things should be here tomorrow, but nothing showed up in time for the show. So surprise.
All right.
We're
We're going to thank you for playing. You're going to go home with the Guess That Number home game. Jamar, let's go to
this.
you.
Well, Nate, I actually have shown up empty-handed. I have.
Yes. Is that a first?
I will say, in all seriousness, AFT. No, I'm joking. I have been in the most struggle situation with FedEx, and it's not even toy related. So I have a very, very high amount of anger right now towards all the shipping
I
process.
thought your loot crate was supposed to show up yesterday or today.
Well, here's my thing. This is why I'm about to just never. This is why I never want anything to ship to me again, and why I want to embrace the AFT future of my digital collection. It's because my loot crate, after updating my email address when the first box or second box came, it still shipped.
You mean
Same
actual
issue
address?
as you. Yes, it's updating
You're
my
so
address.
caught up in the cloud that you're now talking about your email address.
No, I said after
You said-
updating my address.
You said email address the first time was what the joke was.
All right, after updating my address after the second box because I had already moved, I had the same issue you did, Michael.
Mhm.
Which luckily
At least
my
yours is
box
like
is secure.
close by.
I just haven't been able to go get it. 2, I ordered something on Amazon and it says, "Oh yeah, we'll have it there tomorrow." Cool. And then turns out right now it's tomorrow and it is still in Perrysburg, Ohio, which it doesn't make any sense because when I ordered it, it wasn't even in Ohio. So I don't know what Amazon's doing. So that was, strike 2 of my shipping situation. And then my whole battle that I've been having with FedEx of Yeah, it's out for delivery. Oh wait, no, it's delayed. Oh yeah, it's out for delivery. Oh wait, no, it's delayed. Okay, we promise it's going to be out for delivery today. We'll see what happens. So I have had it to the rim of all things physical being shipped to my house. So it's just funny that tonight was, what it was. But yeah, I don't have anything, so I'll have something next week, I'm sure. Please tell me you have your loot crate. Neat.
Oh.
Ooh.
Look at you.
Ooh. See, so Kristen offered to drive to the other place where mine is at. And I was like, no, it's no big deal. Like, I was just at work, she was home. And I was like, nah, it's no big deal. I mean, I'm sure Nate will have his and he'll spoil it and I won't get to see it. But I'm actually excited. I'm happy. Because I didn't know which box was coming. I didn't know which
Yeah,
one.
the only one I care about at this point. So.
Yeah, dog.
Oh, you didn't know it was the cartoon?
No, I did not.
No,
because the email they sent out when
I didn't pay attention to their emails. After they told me
neither.
that they didn't update my address, I said, fuck you.
Yeah.
So-
technically they didn't tell you that. You fucking UPS did.
That's true. That is very true. That's very true.
All right, so I have a few things. Here's the funny
Save the
thing.
show.
I have quite a few things here, and very little of this is including anything from the weekend. So this was like package palooza over the weekend. So I went. So let me explain a little bit. So this past weekend was the weekend of the Cincinnati Toy Show. And my buddy Chucky B, we always go down to that show every year, and we usually hit shops all the way down,
I'm so jealous.
and then go to the. It's a fun trip. We hit, and then we go to the show, and then we hit some more shops on the way home. Well, this year it also coincided with the Great Ohio Toy Show, which is in Xenia, Ohio, which is famous for two other things. One is a tornado in the late 70s, and the other is a very weird movie called Gummo that also deals with the tornado from the 70s. So still tied into that tornado. But what I will tell you is it was unreal. And it took place at a fairgrounds. And I don't know how else to explain these giant pole buildings that a lot of fairgrounds have.
Mm-hmm.
They're just these massive, metal buildings or whatever. There were 7 of those dedicated to dealers, over 500 vendor tables. Okay. It was overwhelming, to say the least. You walk in and you go through a room and you're like, oh my God, that was incredible. Look at all those amazing toys. And then you go to the next building and you're like, oh, here's more amazing toys. And by the time you're at the 5th building or whatever, you're kind of tired of looking at toys. You look like Michael does right now.
That's fair.
But
I'm trying to
overwhelming.
compress my anger.
Okay.
Sorry.
But I actually didn't buy a lot. Just like I said, it was overwhelming. I think I only spent like $50 at the entire thing, and I don't think anything I have in front of me is from that, and that's okay because I'll show it eventually. There's a lot of shit here, like I said, packaged.
Like actually, eventually, or like your Grail piece eventually.
Probably. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to show some of this stuff off in order. I was out to work on last Thursday, so the day after we recorded last time, and I had to stop up to something for work, so I was by a Target that I don't usually go to, and they had some different clearance stuff. So for $6.59, I got Flying Fists He-Man from Origins, and I also got
Fist.
Yeah, and I also got Terror Claws Skeletor. So yes, I don't normally. I'm not getting all these Origins figures and stuff, but for $6.59 to get figures that were $22.99, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna leave them carded
for a figure that's a slightly newer version of an old figure.
Yeah, it's a deluxe one. That's why you get all that extra stuff. So yeah, at least this makes more sense for it to be more expensive. Tune in for more. Keep watching for more.
Did you buy some Black Series?
No.
So did you get one of those Boba Fett's where it's like the same figure they released 6 months ago, but now it's a deluxe? Uh-oh.
Sort of.
Uh-oh.
So then also in the kicking off the weekend last Thursday with the mail, I did get my Battle Armor Gohan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I now get this
pretty
reference.
excited. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited. This came from Premium Bandai, and yeah. So then let's talk about how Walmart came through.
Oh,
Shall we?
oh.
Oh, yeah.
Walmart and Target
This
came
one.
through this weekend. The first thing I'm going to show off. Oh, wait, I'll show this. I bought this at one of the shops down in Cincinnati. So, House of Plastic in Cincinnati. I bought this, which is a 2.0 vintage collection, but one that's very hard to find. This is ARC Trooper 5s. So, but yeah, if you're in the area, check out House of Plastic. It is really cool.
Did you tell them you had a cool toy podcast and that they should give it to you for free?
Or they should sponsor us or put signs up with our names on it.
I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
how are you gonna clout
No, I
chase
didn't.
if you don't?
Next time, get the free stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
get the free stuff.
Yeah. Okay. But from Target, I got some packages over the weekend,
He's
and
terrible bullshit.
so I got one of my pre-orders from I don't know how long ago at this point, but Axe Woves from The Mandalorian.
I forgot
looking
that there was a
spiffy.
third one of those blue
Yeah.
Mandalorians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
So,
like, I know there's Sasha
couldn't
Banks
believe
and
it.
the other chick.
Yeah. Couldn't believe it. It arrived
Bo-Katan,
in
right?
really good shape. Yeah, Sasha Banks
Yeah.
and Starbuck.
Yeah.
Then I also got the Morak Boba Fett, which is a Target exclusive, which is weird that this one's a Target exclusive. But the other weird thing is that it was $20.
Why?
Okay. 'Cause
$20.99.
I thought that was good. I don't know. Like,
No.
are those normally?
No. The Black Series is a 6-inch. Those are like worth 20. Now they're like 25.
25, right? Black Series. is
Six inches are about 25.
Yeah.
These, which are the 3 3/4, these are retail $12.99, and then exclusives can be $13 to $14.99. This one is $20.99, so
Whoa.
it carries that infamous Boba tax.
Mm.
So of having Boba Fett figures be more because they can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So at the end of the weekend, I had 3 of them, and I took 2 of them back. So I'm just keeping one. The deluxe one that I have from Book of Boba Fett is different, but not different enough for an opener. I didn't need one, so I just kept one carded one. So
So that's
I'm
the
sure
one
these are
from
gonna show up.
Mandalorian season 2, where it's all freshly
Yes.
painted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I dig that.
And he's
I really
still-
like that look.
Yeah. No, it's a cool figure. It's 100% a cool figure. It's just kind of a pisser that it's expensive. It's more expensive than all the other ones. So, but yeah, it's the deluxe one's not quite that different. It's got different pants is basically it, and in the skirt instead of the sash. That's really the only difference. So right now I don't need an opener, but if they come clearance, because I've been picking up those Migs Mayfelds and Casca Reeves that are like under $4, like they're just coins, just pennies. I'm just picking them up as I go. So I'm gonna have a whole warehouse full of them. You can order the NFT now, and I'll send it to you in a few months. But
Assuming he doesn't lose it in his
Walmart-
basement stash.
yeah, Walmart, like almost a year ago, I think now, opened up a pre-order for several vintage collection figures that were part of the original 96, meaning
And you
that they
said
were
a year ago?
I think it's close to a year.
Oh,
It was like
damn.
the beginning of this year. Yeah. But so there were figures that were carded in the original vintage line. They've updated them. And there was 5 of them, or I think 1, 2, 3. Nope. Yeah, 5. So I have the Bespin security guard, Helder Spinoza.
Oh, I don't know anything about that guy, but I love his mustache.
Yeah,
Very
he's a Bespin
interesting
security
character.
guy.
I'm sorry, this was
Yeah.
this was a figure that came out originally with the original line or with the original vintage collection line.
No, the original line.
So they got
like in the-
kids
in
in the
1980.
80s to buy a
That's what I
figure of
was-
some random mustache guy.
Not only did they get you to buy 1, they got you to buy 2. Stay tuned.
Oh my god, I love
Wait,
it.
I just love that like every person involved in this movie in the movies had a character, like a figure.
Yeah.
Like guy in the back.
So
I
the
mean, I know they
next
had to
one,
fund the second movie, but damn.
yeah, the next one would be Bespin security guard Isdom Edian.
This dude doesn't know that there's a figure of him.
He
I
does,
guarantee you.
he-
Well, I
He
don't know.
does.
Yes, 'cause
I've seen people get him signed.
They also have to, he has to
Already.
pay for they have to pay him for his likeness, I imagine.
That's true. He does get it.
Well, Star Wars has a whole thing with that. There's people that have.
Are they the
it's a
Vince
whole thing.
McMahon of movie licenses, and they're like, oh, we own your face, bitch.
Yep.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Because you are the
Pretty much.
character.
So then we have R2D2 with sensor scope on an original Empire Strikes Back card, as he should be.
That's cool.
An Imperial Gunner. This figure
that
was
does make
released in the
sense.
Rogue One line, but it was originally released in a Return of the Jedi card, so they reissued it. Technically, it was a Power of the Force card, but that's a whole other thing.
Oh,
But-
I love those
so
cards.
I want you to notice, all of these are nice.
Yeah.
Walmart came through.
No creases?
And now, were these all in
no
the same
crease.
box, or were they in multiple?
Oh, no. In fact, Isdom Heldor, or whatever his name was, Isdom Edian, came in a envelope.
Oh my.
Wow.
He's got a little bit of bubble damage. That's the worst that happened. And if I find another one, I'll be fine with it. But I'll replace it. But otherwise, the card's not damaged. Once it's hanging on the wall, you won't even be able to see it.
So I
So
didn't
I
know it
wasn't
was
that worried
the
about
bubble
it.
was damaged till you showed us.
What's that?
I didn't know the bubble was
Yeah.
damaged till you showed us.
Yeah. And then the last one was an Imperial Stormtrooper on an original Star Wars card.
Oh.
So that new awesome Stormtrooper body, that sexy body with rocker ankles. I have 3 of these because I'm going to open 2. So, then I will show just a couple of quick things that I picked up at the shows, just because I'm in a Star Wars mood, and something that we will never get again is cool shit like this. So we have Hermiodal from Jabba's Palace.
Oh man, that's
We
a
got
face
this-
my mother could love.
Fucking bug guy from
That's not
from
that's not from Star Wars. You
that's-
got some Happy Meal
Yeah.
toys, and you're showing them off.
No. He is from the original Star Wars. He's a Cantina patron.
How does
Yeah.
he drink?
I don't know. But he probably uses it to drink with this cool bar stool encounter that I got to go with the Cantina figures.
That's cool.
Like, is that licensed or is that something made?
No, that's official.
It's called a straw, Jarmar.
Yeah.
Well,
And then
okay, so you don't pick your cup up when you drink out of a straw.
Maybe it's a really long straw. Is that guy like a part raptor?
This
He's
I
like
feel
an-
is familiar.
yeah, it's a Return of the Jedi.
I thought he was
Man.
one of those like animals
like
getting ride around in Tatooine.
No. But I bought a bunch of loose 3 3/4 inch figures of just cool aliens and creatures, bar patrons that came with classes. I just don't know where the box is that I put them in. But that's mostly what I bought at the shows, which was just cool ass loose Star Wars figures for my cantina and bars and Jedi throne rooms or Jabba throne rooms and all that good stuff. Okay, just a couple more, which is surprising because you guys didn't have anything. So
What?
Well,
What do
I
you
mean,
got?
it was
here?
almost like we did on purpose because you did tell us that it was going to be a 3-hour episode of all the things you had.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
we could have just coordinated, but like, don't buy anything this week, and
yeah.
it would have been
Actually
at least
reminds me.
a little bit kayfabe saved.
Yeah. On Sunday, my good friend the BFC, Big Friendly Craig, sent a link from Target that these were available, so I jumped on them.
Oh,
And
yeah.
one is the new Masterverse She-Ra. So this is deluxe, so it was like $30-some, which it is deluxe. Another head, different cape, different hands, and all that good stuff.
It's not quite as deluxe as some of the dudes, though. Like, the dudes come with a whole
Yeah.
other outfit, so I feel like that's kind of shitty that she got gypped out of. Like,
yeah. Well, and he does come with
like
a bit
that.
more. So
The
and then
motherfucker
this
gets
is
a whole
Hordak.
other set of arms.
Well, he does have to because he has a different kind of, and he's got sweet artwork on the back. That's my favorite
Ooh,
Masters
that's
of the
cool.
Universe character right there.
Yeah.
So I love Hordak.
Maybe they need to teach the Marvel Legends team on how to make fucking box art.
Groot. And then finally, of what I'm going to show off tonight, this was an awesome little. Oh no, wait! I have one more thing before that. I grabbed this. And I haven't opened it
Ooh,
yet.
I saw that at
Oh.
the one of the local places over by you, Jamar. And I was like, that's tempting, but I have the black and white one, so I don't need it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, good friend of mine, we did an awesome trade. I had an extra of the Mattel Creations Koldar He-Man figure, and he got an extra of the Wondar. So I now have the Wondar figure.
I feel like we already made this joke, didn't we, about like 2-dar and 3-dar?
Yeah,
maybe. There's a whole history with him that I don't really want to go into, just because it's weird. But he got me that, and he also got me this, which is totally incredible. You guys will not know what it is.
It is
this
eye key.
Yeah. It's an amazing rug. It's absolutely incredible. And this is the trap door sticker that goes over your trap door in the original Castle Grayskull.
Same.
Okay.
So in the throne room, there's a throne there, and then there's a carpet, looks like a rug, and you turn the chair and it drops down and you fall into the pit. It's another sticker that has all these gross tentacles and arms coming out of it. But this is the trap door, and this is going to look awesome in my He-Man area. So he got that for me too. It was really so cool. Awesome. Yeah. So I was thrilled. Totally thrilled.
Oh, that's all?
Just did it.
Yeah, that's all. I got one more I can show because I lost it, and then I remembered where I put it.
You're not going to show off the things that you rebought?
What's that?
You're not going to show off the things that you rebought?
They're out in the car. I said I wasn't going to go out to the car, so I'll show them next week. But yeah, we'll talk about those. Okay. Because that'll be funny.
Yeah.
So I'll show off this one more thing. I got hooked up by a friend of mine on this one too. I don't know if we talked a little bit about Sunman, I think.
Yeah, we've discussed him because that's the Black He-Man, right?
Yeah. Yep. So this is a Target exclusive, but this is Sunman and the Rulers of the Sun. This is a pretty deluxe 3-pack, so I thought it was cool. I love the packaging.
So it's him.
So we got Sunman,
a booger, and a gimp.
Pighead, and Space Sumo. Telekinetic Ninja. Because why not?
The Pigman or Pighead?
Oh, I didn't realize it was a pig. I thought he was a
booger. No. Sumo or Space Sumo.
Space Sumo and this guy's Pighead.
These are just this.
I just want to talk about dude's shoulder pads, though.
Yeah,
that's a cape. Well, I got
shoulder cape,
shoulder pads.
Shoulder.
Yeah, it's a shoulder cape.
Fins.
It's just, what were they thinking with like some of these designs and like?
Well, a mom came up with all this.
Really?
What?
The whole story of Sunman. He wasn't originally part of He-Man. He was a creation of a young mother who wanted a He-Man-like character for her son. So, and they were black, so she created a black hero, and that was Sunman. And yeah, a small toy company made a line of these, and they were in that same 5.5-inch Masters of the Universe style. But it wasn't until just a few years ago that they actually purchased the rights to Sunman to bring it into Masters of the Universe. You had to integrate it. So they released a special Mattel Creations set, and then they re-released the figure, I think with a little bit of different paint apps as a retail release. And then this one, with his cool flat top, is a little different. I think this was an unreleased Series 2 Sunman, was what that was going to look like. So I think that's where that came from.
So she just made Sunman. She didn't make like Space Sumo and Pighead.
Maybe, probably not, but I don't know that for sure.
That's actually a really cool story, though.
It is.
Yeah,
I just...
for real. It kind of makes me want to get a Sunman now, just because of like the origins of it. It's cool.
Yep,
it's cool.
It is.
Did
awesome.
You make that up? Is that for real?
Like, I'm really hoping it's.
Can we fact check you? I don't know. No, I'm joking.
As far as I know, that's the story.
No, just like he brought that up, like. But no, that's just it's so cool. Like if that's true, like how they like implemented it into the line off of her like idea, and that's cool.
Jay
'Cause,
said
I mean-
that takes shelf representation to another level.
Yeah, she's like, I just made a figure. It's a cool idea.
I wonder
Okay,
if maybe
so-
she originally was naming him Sun Man, like S-O-N, and they're like, oh, that doesn't work for a toy. Let's make him Sun Man, like the sun.
Like my son,
So-
man.
Yeah, that could be. Sunman was created by Yalia Eason, a mother driven to provide a positive image for her son. So in 1985, she created Sunman, a Black American superhero character for her son and other children like him. Eason saw the need of more relevant Black toys for the underserved Black children in the play market. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here, but I'm just trying to see if she created other stuff. That's the whole story. Go to sunman.com.
Oh,
That's really cool.
the more you know.
Yeah.
If I don't get yelled at, I'm probably gonna get that.
Yeah.
Just so you know, that's so cool.
Just like you want this weird PC streaming handheld thing, and now you want this fucking He-Man toy. You don't even collect He-Man.
Yeah, but it's just it's a cool idea. That's a cool idea, especially
You'll have
what
to
was that,
start-
like 80s.
You'll have to start
Like,
with the
right?
story, and then be like, you need to buy it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like if you walk in, you hit her with like, you'll never guess what Nate told us tonight, and like give her the whole spiel. Then it'll be her idea. 'Cause she'll be like, you should probably own that.
Yeah,
And then you've already gotten the permission versus having to have the ask.
that's fair. That's fair. That's a good.
I like the way he's thinking, and if I can help in any way, you let me know.
She'll be like,
That's
it's not real, and you have to call up Nate. He'll be like, oh yeah, it is. Go to sunman.com.
I'd be like, no, like Pawn Stars. I'd be like, all right, let me call my expert.
Can you wait like a couple hours while I get my expert to show up?
And then she'll be like, best I can do is,
Christmas present.
you know, no, I already burned that one.
Oh,
So, best I can do is Christmas 2025. I'm like,
fuck,
all right.
why'd you buy that? Cost 2 Christmases.
Oh, I wish it was here.
Oh my god, that's funny. So we have a little bit of time. Nate, do you want to? Because I know you were itching to talk about PulseCon, and you were sad that we chose the shitty NECA AFTs over PulseCon.
I wasn't so much jonesing for it. I just thought we were gonna talk about it. The only thing I'll say about it, I think a lot of people, for whatever reason, were expecting something else because everybody was like, "Oh, I can't believe how bad that was," and I can't believe how little they showed. And I'm not going to say it wasn't bad because their banter is awful.
Oh,
and
it was hard to sit through. I sat through day one, and I was like, I can't do it for day two.
I watched very little of it, to be honest. But I looked at all the reveals and stuff like that. But last year, it was the same thing. They only showed like 4 or 5 different things and then moved on to the next brand. There really wasn't.
But
there wasn't a ton of stuff shown.
I feel like there was a lot of stuff though, because I mean, Marvel Legends alone had at least fucking 15 figures that they revealed.
Maybe last year, maybe I'm remembering it differently, but I will say each group showed not a ton. Marvel Legends did show more just because they crank out more. That's just a fact. But like everybody was all mad because Vintage Collection only had 3 reveals, but technically Black Series only had like 4 or 5 new stuff, and then everything else was pipelined in both cases. So whatever. I'm not defending them, but I also just don't think. I think people went in expecting too much. San Diego was just like a month and a half,
NYCC
2 months ago.
Literally, this week.
NYCC is next week. There's still going to be like another live. Yeah, this week. There's still going to be live streams to be had before the end of the year. There's no way that we're not. This was just another marketing tool to show off a couple of things and whatever. The G.I. Joe stuff looked great. I'm happy. I'm only buying like 2 Transformers for the first half of next year. There's only 2 that I'm interested in. And Power Rangers, everything I would be wanting is gone. I don't need them. Marvel Legends, they didn't really show anything movie-wise. So I don't really care.
Well, it's because at this point,
like G.I. Joe,
the movie stuff gets announced as the shows and movies hit.
Right. So I knew they weren't going to show anything. The only thing I thought they might do is something that went back on some of the movies, but they haven't done that yet. Which, if you look at that leaked list that came out, there's a lot of stuff. Like there's apparently a whole No Way Home, a No Way Home wave coming. Which
I swear to God, if they release
sense.
the fucking Spider-Man with unmasked heads separately from that 3-pack, I'm be so pissed.
I think that's what's
What
happening.
else could it be?
I mean, they could do
Yeah,
other characters from that fucking movie. They had the entirety of the
could,
Sinister Six to
but-
fucking deal with.
They did. There's 3 different Spider-Mans listed in that wave, so I guarantee they have the head sculpts. They get you
Canceling
with the
fucking
Pulse.
3-pack.
That's why the other one is a Pulse exclusive and not a mainline release, because it's a marketing ploy. It's like, look, we did it. We made the Spider-Man, and then by the time it ships, they're going to also be like, look, here's the better version that you wanted.
Oh, man.
Now you're going to buy it again. We got you by the shorties. Sucks to be you. So I thought there were some people that were complaining about like the Star Wars Vintage Collection reveals that there was a lot of reissues from Jabba's Palace, but all of those are like over $100 on the secondary market, so they should be reissued, especially with the Jabba's playset coming out. People who bought the barge and people who just want them, so they make sense. The Yak Face was an odd choice because it just came out a couple of years ago, and in some places of the world it's easier to get. But like right now, it's already a $40-50 figure here, so it does make sense. I'm glad we got more stuff like that, but the 4 new Black Series figures they revealed were super snoozers from Andor. I mean, they're just human people. It's just
I thought your Andor reference was because you watched the show and you're like,
no. I
thought that was I thought that's what he was saying too. Is that he was like snoring at
That's
the
what
show, and I was like,
it's Andor, the lady, the old guy, and Mon Mothma, like 4 super boring human people. Like, come on, you can't give us an alien. Like, again, this is the heyday. I mean, look at.
I mean, I haven't watched much of the show.
I haven't watched any.
But I don't know if
there's many aliens.
If there's anyone that looks like that.
There's not. That's a whole problem of modern Star Wars that I do have. I let a lot of things slide, but
They're
that
alienists.
does bug me. Yeah,
Alienist or aliism. Yeah. Not enough representation for.
So,
people
I
to
mean,
do.
It's ironic that they added more
time.
diversity, but at the same time they reduced the diversity because they got rid of all the alien characters.
So you saying that the aliens are looking at like the minorities in Star Wars and like
You took our jobs.
They took our jobs. Oh my god.
yeah. I thought it was funny because I read a lot of reaction online. Like the exclusives, or whether or not they're exclusives. It's,
your argument with that dude was
apparently
amazing.
Debatable.
Oh my
Apparently
god,
debatable.
that guy
But
was just so fucking stupid. It was great.
it was crazy. I also it just they were expensive. Exclusives have always been more expensive. I'm not defending it. Do I still think they're overpriced? Absolutely, 100%. But you got to weigh those options. And there was a lot of guys online. Some of the groups that was really complaining about the GI Joe Serpentor Air Chariot. That $80 was way too expensive. I bought one. I didn't think about it. Is it expensive? Yeah, absolutely. But then immediately after that, you look a couple days, they're selling for $180 on eBay just for the confirmation that someone ordered it. No one has these in hand.
Yeah.
We're not going to have these in hand probably until next year.
Yeah,
But
like last year we didn't get them until like fucking March.
Yeah, so already people are selling them for $100 over the already too expensive $80. So it's like, well, was it too expensive? Apparently not. Apparently it wasn't expensive enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Who's getting the money? Who's getting that extra $100?
Yeah.
That eBay.
When did
Somebody
you
who had
become Mr. Corporate Jamar?
Yeah.
So I need to add that to your fucking list of names at the beginning.
It's not a corporate.
The corporate
apologist.
sellout.
I'd rather them make
Jamar
money other ways
_games.
instead of increasing the cost of figures. Find other revenue streams instead of charging more for the figure.
We still don't know how much those figures are going to cost.
Like NFTs.
Exactly. Put them in there. Just don't make the figure go up. Which
I
what
mean,
they
probably
did
do,
with
yeah,
the basketball
yeah.
starting lineup. See?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Was there anything cool?
Indiana fucking Jones, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's my other thing. It's probably going to get some hate.
Oh,
from
are we about
my
to
way.
fight? Are you about to take Jamar's place?
No. I love Indiana Jones. I love Indiana Jones. I grew up like Star Wars was already like on its way out when I was a kid, where Indiana Jones was on its way, it was on its way in, and I love Temple of Doom. It's one of my favorites because I grew up on it. Yeah.
Least.
Right. I know that. And Raiders is by far the better movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Temple of Doom, it's just that I grew up with it. I was 6 when I saw it. That's one we had on VHS. I watched it over and over, and it was dark and gross, and so it appealed to me as a kid. Yeah, love that shit. Is it problematic now?
Oh,
absolutely.
Yes. I'm like, I don't know if you're allowed to say that. Like,
yeah.
I think we're talking about something else in that movie.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I'm just talking about. There's a lot of things in that movie that are problematic now, but it is a little racist.
It's a lot racist.
There's
no little about it, unfortunately.
But it's definitely a representation of the time it takes place in, though, too. Last Crusade is pretty good. I have issues with it, but you can't beat the chemistry between Sean Connery and Harrison Ford.
I mean, they're Eskimo bros.
Get to the hate, Nate.
Yeah,
get to the hate.
Let it flow through you.
No, it's no hate. It's no knock against anything about the property. It's just that it's never done well at retail, ever. And that's because it is. Once you get past indie, like the other figures that were revealed, you had Tote the Nazi, Belloc, Sala, Marion. Your hardcores will buy those, but everyone else is just going to get Indiana Jones, and the line will flounder at retail like it always has. When they did it, when the Raiders first came out, that's what happened. They underpacked Indy, to like 1 or 2 in a case, and then a bunch of the others, and nobody wanted those. The same thing happened in 2008 when the line came back for when Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, and they overloaded the figures from that movie, which is a thing. And I don't even totally hate it. Like, there's parts of it I like. Overall, I don't reach for it, and I haven't. I think I've maybe seen it 2 or 3 times in my life. I'm not going to completely like just get all over it. It is what it is. It's not very good. But then when they finally started making great figures, nobody cared. And so I feel that that's going to happen with this line as well. In fact, I only pre-ordered Indiana Jones because I think that's going to be the hardest one to get, and I'll end up. I don't mean to sound this like I'm just gonna I'm gonna be part of the failure of the line, but I'm probably gonna wait for clearance because I know they're gonna go on clearance. There's gonna be like 12 Marions on pegs. It's the way it's always gone, and then it's gonna be harder then for the Temple of Doom line, wave to come out, and then we may not even see a Last Crusade line at this point. So. And then just like with everything else, it's a bummer because they only even put up 2 for pre-order. So they're going to, I don't know what they're doing to like space them out. All of them were revealed, but only 2 of them were put up.
Maybe that's the plan. Maybe they're doing the build-a-figure method of McFarlane with this. Because they do come with build-a-figure parts. You can build the arc, which I think is a smart way to do it. Because there are going to be people who are going to want those props for their display. And that's going to get more of those other figures to sell. Especially if, like you say, you make it to Last Crusade, and the build-a-figure is the fucking knight that's protecting the Grail. Like, I feel like that would be a great way to sell that entire line. But I think that's their idea, is if they only do 2 at a time over the course of like 6 months, there's a better chance of those moving than if they have the entire wave there. Because it'll create that sense of FOMO of like, oh, well, what if I do decide later on I want the arc? Let me grab it before it's gone.
That's a dangerous
But wouldn't
game.
it, like, if you have Indy and then someone else, that's getting, like, the headlines and stuff right now, that's popping. Then when you do 2 other, like, random people to pre-order, like, 6 months down the road, is there really going to be, like, hey, here we go, like, how much fanfare are you going to get that people are going to be like, oh, yeah, I should probably go pre-order those?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, it's still going to have problems, like Nate said.
It would probably, to me,
I'm just saying this is probably
I
don't think it's smart to do all front because they could even do it in a way where, like, every time they come out with another 2 figures, they ship. If it's a case of 6, they still ship like 2 Indiana Jones figures with them. So you still keep Indy on the shelves to keep people interested and remind you of like, hey, this is he's a part of this line, but the only thing with that is then it will make the Nazi dude hard to get and people will be like, oh, that clearanced out and now it's worth like $50 or whatever, and be pissed off.
I haven't heard
Yeah.
anything. Like I don't think that's how it's going to be. I think it's just like when they do Black Series and they reveal 2 figures and you can pre-order them, and then a week later they give another one that's a pre-orderable, and then by 6 months to the end, you find out it's a whole wave. I hate the way they do that. I would be shocked if they didn't do it that
It
way.
would make sense because it's both Lucasfilm,
Yeah,
so it probably is that way now that you mention it.
and it's the same. It's the same Star Wars. It's the same team at Hasbro.
Then yeah, it's probably that. Then,
So-
which is what I'm fine with either way. If I get, because I'm gonna get the whole wave because I want the arc, and I realistically I probably would have just got Indy and Marion, but I'll get the whole wave to get the arc, and then if depending on what the second wave is, I assume the second wave will probably have the tribal guy who's ripping people's hearts out from the Temple of Doom.
Mola Ram.
Yeah, he'll probably be the Build-A-Figure or something to try to entice people if they're smart, because you can't really. You can't really, like, what, they're gonna fucking make a Build-A-Figure Boulder or something, like, I don't know.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is like the skull rack that held the Sankara stones. So, because it seems like they're doing this build an artifact, which is really strange because the first movie is the only one that has a large
Right, that's my
artifact.
problem, is that all the other ones
Yeah.
are small, so, like, you can't really do that unless, like, with Last Crusade, you build the entire, like, table display with all the fucking grails on it.
Right.
Something like that, but I'd rather it be the Knight than that, because I feel like that'd just be a better way to move those figures that people might not want. And my other question is, if they do make the Last Crusade, is, I mean, unless Lucasfilm as a whole, and not just Star Wars, owns people's faces, how are they going to get Sean Connery's likeness? Because I feel like that's going to be a little harder now that he's gone.
No. Well, I don't know if it's, I don't know. They were able to do it back in 2008. So, I don't know. I don't know if that is in, forever or whatever, but I know it's not impossible.
Okay. I mean,
How soon until we get to Shia LaBeouf? Is that?
It's going to be a while. I
Okay.
do appreciate that they're not doing the Star Wars and Power Ranger route and doing one from
mixture.
this movie,
Mhm.
one. Yeah, like let's do Raiders and let's see how it does, because that's arguably the most popular one. I would say for most people, followed by Last Crusade, then Temple of Doom, and then by that time, I don't know how often these are going to come out, but I'm sure they're going to do movies or figures from the new movie as well.
Yeah. Which is fine. Hell, I'd be satisfied if they just gave me an Indiana Jones from each movie.
Right.
Give me
That's
give me
probably
Raiders
what
in
they
the
should do.
jacket. Give me Temple of Doom with the torn shirt. Give me
Orange shirt with the bag,
Mhm.
and then in Last Crusade it would be like the other jacket with the shirt and tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And then give me. I mean, honestly, give me Crystal Skull
Yeah,
Indy. Give me Old Man
give
Indy.
me
I'll
Old Man
take it.
Indy. Hell, even if they just fucking jump to Indiana Jones 5 and give me that Indy, I don't care. I'll take
Yeah.
an Old Man Indy. 'Cause
Yeah.
I had no problem with Indiana Jones in that movie. My problem was
No.
just with the very weird choices. I enjoyed, like, the first, I guess, third of the movie.
Yeah, I'll say that. I actually don't mind the fridge part. Like
I
everybody
love the
kind of
fridge part. That
freaks
was
out about
I
that.
thought it was
But
hilarious.
that was totally in character. Like this is also the same guy that jumped out of an airplane with an inflatable raft.
Mm-hmm.
They surfed, down a mountainside and then landed in a river. So like jumping in a fridge for a nuclear thing I was like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, that makes
Like,
sense. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So when people were freaking out about that, I'm like, no, I love that. Like, I
Yeah.
thought it was great. But yeah, so I had no problem with the first third of the movie. It's just after that, it kind of slowly gets real out there and real just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't even mind that it's aliens, because I also think that fits the
Mhm.
time that it takes place in. I didn't love the execution
Oh, yeah,
of it, and it
that
was
was my
very, it was very similar to Raiders in the ending. Like, it was essentially the same ending except that there was aliens.
Mhm.
But the aliens themselves, I was cool with, and the idea of aliens in Indiana Jones, I was cool with. It just was what they were. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this was kind of dumb.
I agree. I 100% agree with that, because I remember leading up to that movie coming out, like, Discovery Channel and all and history were like running rampant with the fucking Crystal Skull lore and everything like that. So it was like documentary after documentary, and got all hyped up about, like, oh, it's gonna be awesome, it's gonna deal with aliens. And then you get to the end of the movie and you're like, wow, that was dog shit. What a fucking letdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we've talked about PulseCon to an extent. I will say my last thing about PulseCon is finally a fucking Dark Phoenix on retro card. I won't be buying any other ones, but I'm super excited about that one. I didn't watch the Power Rangers one. I watched the G.I. Joe one solely to see the G.I. Joe fans cry when they started using pronouns. And I didn't watch Transformers. I think all I watched was Marvel.
That's the only one I really watched, was the Transformer one, because it was the first one, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check this out. And then I was like, oh, this is horrible. Like, I'm not watching it anymore.
Yeah, I will say I did do the selfie series.
Did you?
I did.
You okay.
I can't wait till weekly purchases.
I'm really curious to see how this goes, because it's either going to be great or it's going to be awful, and I'm like, I'll find out here in a month, because it's allegedly coming in mid-November.
What's the percentages on it being pretty bad?
I'm gonna say it's 60-40.
Oh,
but 60-40 is 60 bad, 40 good.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm thinking like high 70s to 80s. I think
I think
it
depends on your expectations, because
Kill it.
It's not like you're paying $300 to someone on Instagram.
No,
to
I
3D
understand.
mold your face.
I understand.
You're literally paying them to spray paint your face onto a mold. So like, I'm going into it with the expectations of, this is me as a Marvel Legends figure, not me as a Mafex figure, is kind of what I'm looking at it. So I'm looking at through that vein of light.
Probably be better for me to be a Mafex figure or a Marvel Legends than a Mafex figure if we're going off of their track record. Yeah. But I just have, when I did the builder thing, the scan your face, it gave me very this is a reference that you guys may not understand, but like early basketball games when you create a character and they had I think it was like 2K, I don't know.
I get what you
10, but you were able to scan your face in.
Creative characters for like that kind of stuff.
But you scanned your face and it looked great, and you're like, okay, cool. And then it does this thing, and then you load the character in the game, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Is this not what the picture showed me? So it could be the opposite though, because
I'll have to send you my buddy Spiros did it, and his looks fucking phenomenal. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my face? Why did mine not look like that?
Does he have a beard?
No. Well, he has scruff, but not like a beard.
Okay. Is he white?
I mean, he's tanner than I am, because he's Greek.
So yes.
But
okay, no, I'm just joking. I'm
saying, you've seen mine. Mine looks like you need to kill a fire is what I'm getting at.
That's what I'm saying. You and Wes, you did it, and you guys looked the exact
same.
The
difference was the hair. That was it. We chose different hair molds. Beyond that, we both looked like generic white guy number 4, and I was like,
that's what I'm like. I don't know how much personality that this thing's gonna have.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna have to find the picture he sent me of his and send you a picture of him, and so you can see like how good his turned out. I'm just like, what the fuck? That's not fair. It almost made me regret it, because at that point I had paid for mine. I'm like, well, I can't redo it now.
Is he a good-looking man? Is this you complete the 5th? I'm just saying, because he may already be a handsome dude, and so his figure's just gonna look, amazing because.
I mean, so he's not a bad-looking dude, but he's not Henry Cavill. Like,
okay. Well, I mean, Henry Cavill is kind of like God level.
Yeah. Also, I'm just saying is, I'm like, to me, like, I feel like most of these action figures of live action people, especially the dudes, are usually really fucking attractive dudes. So like, comparing us commoners to them is kind of a.
That's fair. That's fair. You don't want to say he's ugly on the No, I'm joking. That's a good point, Jake. Does he have cheekbones? Does he have good cheekbones?
Nah. I also have to send you a picture of him and his figure, because I don't really know how to describe it.
That reminds me.
Is he single?
I'm afraid Indiana Jones is going to go the route of Ghostbusters, the Plasma series.
Like, it's going to go away when the movie goes away.
Yeah. Like, we got one wave of classic, one wave of new stuff. That's it.
I mean, I'd be sad, but I would also not be sad. 'Cause at this point, I would be fucking fine if I got one Indiana Jones figure. Like, I've been debating on getting the Mafex Indiana Jones figure, even though I hate the way it looks. Because it was early Mafex when all the joints and stuff.
I'm just saying, overall, that's what I hope.
I 100% think you're right on that. I think once this movie comes out, it's going to make or break this line. Because either it'll fly off the shelves and convince them to do more, or it will do something where it's just like, oh, the movie's over, we're not gonna make any more until Indiana Jones 6 comes out, and they have to wheel Harrison Ford out of a fucking airplane to get him going.
Hopefully not one that he was piloting.
Oh,
damn!
I just like to think he's like I can't think of the actor's name right now off the top of my head from in Logan as Professor X. What's his name?
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. I just like to think that that's, you know, Harrison Ford just comes out in a wheelchair.
Shia LaBeouf is an old man rolling him around.
And he's just like he shoots one thing and then they roll him back inside, and maybe he's just in a nursing home.
It all just turns out that he's been in a nursing home the whole time, and this is
I was just about to
fever
say
dream that he's having, and he's rolling around going do 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 do. Using his IV drip as a whip.
That's a good way for them to modernize the old movies with like a new actor and stuff, and then it's just him telling the story, and then you know you have like you know, I don't know who's a handsome Harrison Ford type person in 2022.
I don't know, because most of them are old dudes and not like.
Well, no, not like Harrison Ford was young when he made the first one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who would be Harrison Ford now?
I guess
Tom Cruise.
Well, Tom Cruise is 95.
I was gonna say Chris Pratt.
No, we don't need any more Chris Pratt movies.
Well, you asked who would be him in the current day, and he was originally rumored to be replacing Indy in the reboot.
He's making enough like childhood dreams. Yeah.
I mean, the problem is most of the people I can think of are all people who are probably in their 40s. So like,
why?
Because I'm thinking Ryan Reynolds and Henry Cavill. Like most of the people who have like are at the prime of their careers right now, where they're like, popping off, are people who are like older.
Okay, I was gonna say, was he at the prime of his career? But
he was
like late 20s, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was late. He was I think he was almost 30
like,
when he did Star Wars.
He was like 29, and because wasn't the whole thing that he was 29 and Carrie Fisher was like 18.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He was almost 30 when Star Wars.
I'm saying compared to like Henry Cavill, who's like pushing 40, is what I was getting at. It's like still a different scenario.
That's fair.
So he was 40 when he did Raiders.
40?
Wow.
Yeah, he was born in 1942. So in 1981,
so
he was 41.
Holy crap!
Or no, 39. 39, right?
Well, still 39, 40. That's like kind of crazy. Yeah,
that's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Yeah, true.
So yeah, Ryan Reynolds plays, you know, Indiana Jones in the reimagining of the first three movies, as Harrison Ford is telling it the story in the nursing home with his wheelchair and an Afghan over his lap, and he has his worn leather hat that he pulls out of a box and he puts it on for one time, and then he starts to tell the story, and that's how it goes back. And then we get these three movies again in a more modern way, maybe less Nazis and, you know, less, you know, destroy a certain specific group of people because of where they live situation.
You'll remember it as instead like civil rights groups and stuff like that. He was fighting racism.
I'm sure all the people who are fans of the original Indiana Jones series will love a new reimagining that is a modern take with more diversity and less offensive things. I'm sure they would love that. That would be a great hit.
You know,
we should probably change it to Indiana. Oh, wait, we don't have to. Indiana Jones, that could be a woman. We'll just make it a hot woman, and then there we go. And then people will love it.
Fuck James Bond. Let's make Idris Elba fucking Indiana Jones.
Well, see, he's 50.
So? I just watched, 2 years ago, I watched him fucking beat the shit out of The Rock and Jason Statham.
Yeah, but then he also did a movie about fighting a lion.
Well, this is his recovery. He'll fight Nazis instead.
I just want to hear. I guess Indiana Jones. He didn't have a British accent, so no, I need.
But he could. Well, Idris Elba could probably fucking do an American
But
accent.
that's why I want him to embody that British accent that he has.
I mean, you could redo it with him being from Britain. He could work at a museum of history and like in Britain instead of in the States.
I mean,
he could work.
You know, we take this handsome white American teacher and replace it with a British handsome black man with, you know, great diversity.
You said you wanted to see how people would handle it, so I figured we needed to go completely like in balls deep, because if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. You can't just be like, right. He's fully American, but he's black. Right. You have to be like, no, he's not only is he black, he's also British. We've lost Nate.
See, it could be worse. I could be talking about NFTs right now, Nate. AFT.
Jesus. All right, let's wrap this up. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to follow. If you'd like to find out, if you'd like to just listen to me and Jarmar argue for an hour while Nate sits there awkwardly wishing that he fell asleep 3 hours ago instead of coming to the show, check out this week's episode over on youtube.com/Modern Toy Fair, where we discuss the NECA Walmart AFT situation and everything that's entailed with that. That will probably all be cleared up before the episode even airs. Also, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Modern Toy Fair. Check out Jarmar at metal.tv/Jarmar Games. And Nate, what you got for us?
Nothing.
Nate's so done that he doesn't have anything. All right. Make sure
every week can't be a banger.
Make sure to check us out next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you for watching.